Couple things. One, when you were mentioning like, what do we do about an intro and an out and all that stuff? So valid, very valid questions. I was actually thinking like of something completely crazy and just not having one right now. Like, what if initially, since everyone does that and worries about this intro and like, here we are, this is what we're doing, this is who we are, this is what this is, what if we just do it? What if we're just like doing what we do and people will figure it out? And then, like, down the road, if we feel like, hey, we should make an intro, a cool intro, we can. But I just don't know that we need one,
I like this. I like this. Just getting
right?
into it because the
Yeah.
intro is kind of like small talk.
It's small talk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And none of us want to do that anyway. And it's awkward. And if we're just talking and like we ask each other a question or something, or we look at the document, we want to read some of it, or we want to talk about how this all started, like we can just do it. And then, as you know, because you're the pro editor here, is that we can just edit together how we want it later.
That is genius.
How do you, yeah, you cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What if, after this today, you meet up with your friend and she goes, what did you do this afternoon? And you say, oh, I'm doing this new thing, this my autistic friend thing with Michael. Like, how would you describe, and let's say she has no idea about me or anything we're talking about. What would you say? Like,
your videos I came across and they stood out to me more than any of the other videos that I was following. I was following a few people that were sort of teaching me about myself, that were giving me these little like pieces here and there. But then when I saw your video, I was like, that is me. I am that. I just felt like so much of our personalities like were the same, even though we were so different. I sent you a message, and I guess it was just like saying thank you, that it was life changing, and that what is that? You helped me have that realization and that green light of like actually like that's probably I think I am neurodivergent. Then you reached out like right away, and I was so surprised, and so that was really like special to me. And then we had a video chat, and it was like we had just been friends forever.
Yeah.
And then it's just come to this already, and it seems like it's happening so fast. But the minute that we had that connection, we knew that there was something that we were supposed to do. There was like a reason for that connection.
Yeah.
Especially so far across the world. I'm here, he's there. It's like, how much more like surface area can we get with that? I thought that was probably the coolest interaction that I've had with the internet.
Same. I was, when we were getting ready for this conversation today, I was trying to think about it, and I was thinking, oh, like, to me, it felt like a long time ago. It felt like months and months ago, but I knew it couldn't be. So I went back to that first time you reached out, and it was literally a month ago today, like right? So July 24th. So it was like a month ago today. So to think about everything you just said happening in just a month, it is crazy. It's like amazing, right? It's like you said, it's like the best part of the internet. It's the best that the internet can be. The fact that you reached out, had a question, I think about like PDA profile, and then also like what you said, thanking me and for the content, and it was helpful for you. I happened to be in Tanzania at the time. It was even far. Now I'm back in Chicago now, so a little closer, but literally, like you said, across the world. Like you're, on the western side, right, of Canada, and sort of 10 hours apart. I agree. I think there was just this instant connection and awareness of each other's authenticity. Like on the surface, if you kind of took who you appeared to be, maybe if you didn't know you that well, or me,
we have completely different lifestyle. It's almost like it looks like from the surface level.
Yeah,
that's like something that people sort of almost scan over when they're making friends. We both like soccer, or we both like photography, but then the way that we walk about life could be completely different. But then if you're connecting over that beingness, then you can basically be doing anything and then still be friends, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's say neurotypical people, or even maybe neurodivergent people who don't quite haven't kind of figured it all out yet, maybe are start out friendships or relationships or whatever, focusing on maybe things that aren't necessarily gonna form a really strong true connection.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like surface level day-to-day kind of things versus how you navigate life and how you see the world and how you see relationships and other people.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're easy, but they're fragile. As soon as conflict comes up, or the way that you handle emotional baggage or trauma, or like just the way you do things can sort of like make that fade, I guess.
Yeah.
Where if you're not doing soccer anymore, then like why are you friends still? There's not that like that first part, which is that, and I feel like that was a mistake that I was making in my life, like just, and then always just still feeling disconnected within my
Yeah.
friend groups
Yeah.
because I didn't know why, but that was why.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you and I, like you said, we meet kind of through messaging through the internet. Then we have a video call and agreed. I feel like on that first call, which is less than a month ago now, we felt like we were friends for 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's only gotten, I think, like stronger. I mean, again, it's still only been a month, even though to me it feels like how well, I'm not saying we know each other like extremely well, but as well as as much as we know each other now, it just feels kind of incredible that it's only been a month and we've gone from meeting to, hey, let's do this, let's create some content that matters to us and to other people,
Yeah, planning that and actually like
and
executing.
doing it.
Yeah,
Right. It's kind of bananas when you think about it.
it's powerful.
It's powerful. In other situations where you might have met someone different, or I might have met someone different, and we would have tried to accomplish the same thing, and it would have taken 6 months or a year, and maybe it wouldn't have happened. Why have we gone from, what do you attribute that to, that we've gone from like meeting to this conversation in 4 weeks?
I think that we're coming at it with non-judgment.
Yeah.
Like trust and non-judgment.
Yeah.
And then there's just like this open gate, and it's
Yeah.
like you're almost flying past all the things that you're like these blockages. It's just, it feels very like aligned. And I think maybe where we're at in our like self-discovery. So the amount of trauma in someone, and then the amount of personal growth. So like there should be a ratio between that. And then like I feel like if yours matches someone else's, then it's like a really strong connection. Because if you're just trauma bonding, but you're not in the same headspace, then there's a lot of conflict. But then if you're just in the same headspace, but then there's not enough like I've had that situation where I'm like been through way more than someone else, and then but we're in the same like mindset, but I still feel disconnected from them. They just don't get me on a level.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you've had the same sort of life story and then done the work, you're in the same spot, then like, yeah, your like self-acceptance and like you've done the forgiveness and the shadow work and all these things, then that's the strong connection.
That's what you attribute our story so far to. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. And what did this was really, correct me if I'm wrong, but this whole thing was your idea, I would say, right? Because we were talking, and then you were kind of, I remember you saying something like you were moved to want to like create something, given what you now know about yourself and what you're learning and where you're going, where you feel like you're going now, where you're headed. You felt, and again, correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but I remember it like you were like, wow, man, I want to make something, or I want to do something, and then it kind of, I feel like it went from there. It started there, and then it kind of made it to what we're doing right now. Where does that feel right or no?
Yeah, so before this, I was feeling called to create my own content.
Mm,
So I've been creating content for other people since like 2018.
mm,
Here and there, some stuff for myself, but never like a sort of like a channel, or like I just never knew like what to do or what to share. Um, I just wanted to like share everything, sort of. But I feel like I'm living the experience. And so there's like, we're living it, so we can actually like teach people about it. And I find that it's important. I feel like I have to do it, not like I want to do it in that
mm.
sense. Like, it's like we have, like, we've been given an opportunity to share this,
Yeah.
and like to see how much change that I've gone through, even like, so
Mm.
we've known each other a month, but then I've known myself my whole life, and to think that that was like the one thing I needed to actually understand. And then once you know, then you're able to sort of regulate better, and then just like it's almost not acting up and flaring up and like taking over you. I
Yeah.
feel like so much more in control with everything, and I haven't had a meltdown.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like mind blowing and
Yeah.
really
It
beautiful.
is.
So
Yeah.
that, if it happened to me, then I'm like, here, I need to share it with everyone. This needs to be talked about more, and neurotypicals need to understand. Um, and like, it probably would heal a lot of childhood trauma for a lot of people, because I know
Mm.
that it did for me.
Yeah.
Just knowing that, like, the way that my grandmother was, she raised me, um, she was autistic, and
Hmm.
now everything makes sense. And I've been able to have a lot more compassion for the way that like she masked and the way that she had meltdowns and didn't know what was going on, and like it went from like a fear that was
Mm.
attached to my childhood to almost like like such a different feeling, and that's been so healing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's hereditary. I'm sure that like a lot of other people are going to be like, oh, my parents were as well, and
Yeah.
this is why. And then if they're still alive, then they can teach them about it, and maybe they'll like be like,
Yeah.
oh, and then they can also help families and like generational cycles and stuff like that. So
Agreed. And I think I f- I felt like I remember we talked then about, well, what are we going to do? Like, how do we, what is the content and why are we creating it? Like, what are we going to do that, what makes it us different? Or like you said, it's powerful and it's important and we need to, people, maybe it helps people identify and it helps people with their trauma and their family and their relationships. And I think we both, um, or we talked about how a lot of the content in the online in the like neurodivergent or autistic world seems to mostly, maybe not entirely, but mostly focus on if it's like our other like my wife and my our content, the my autistic husband, where there's like a neurotypical partner and a neurodivergent person, right? Or if it's or flipped, like the husband wife is flipped or boyfriend girlfriend, and then sometimes it's the parents and the kids, but it's just a neurotypical parent with an autistic child, right? That we felt like it's mostly this like mixed version of the content where there's one and one, and that generally the content is from the neurotypical's point of view about the autistic person. I felt like we thought what could be powerful is that here's two people who are very much the same or alike in many ways, but very different in many ways too, but are able to really have this strong, immediate, deep, like truthful connection. And I don't know that we see that a lot on in the content that's out there in the neurodivergent autistic community. Is that right?
yeah, it's very true. I feel like, again, that's like, it's open ended. I feel like the one on one is too. it's close ended, but with this, it's like we could do me and you, we could do like anyone, and also across the world. So for me, I know not a lot. I don't have a community like autistic community here, so I have to go online. And
Right.
so that's been so helpful, and I think that if we can create something where people like us are coming together and speaking up and talking about
Yeah.
it, then it will only make a bigger ripple.
Yeah, that's so cool. I agree. Like maybe we do a few of these and then we invite someone else on. And then that's a really good point that those other formats are limiting because of the setup. Like husband and wife, it's just going to be that, or mother and child, it's just going to be that. Whereas this doesn't limit the directions and like reach. That's pretty cool. I never thought of it that way, but that's really cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure everyone agrees the internet can a lot of times be awful, but this is like a really like beautiful, powerful, important example of the internet
Yeah.
and like the opportunity to get to share that and try to reach a lot of people with it all over the world to help them, but also I think you'll find, like I've told you, I found from the other content, I get just as much out of it as folks who are like following us.
Yeah.
So I think doing this, like you said, will be healing for people who maybe follow or watch or listen or in any way um, engage with the content. But I would feel confident saying it's going to do the same for us. It's kind of mind blowing when you think about the that it's literally been 30 days from like first interaction to we're now creating content that has a very clear purpose and direction and
Purpose.
message. Purpose.
I like that. I like when you say purpose. I feel like that's another thing that came
Mm,
online was like you have a purpose and I have a purpose, and then we're helping each other
yeah.
execute that purpose together
Right.
and apart. I realized through my videography that like you can be a light worker through your content,
Mm,
and I wanted to spread as much content that would help
mhm.
and be useful. And like there's just so much crap on there, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
They need more of this. So then, so I'm like always searching for my other half that I can help, sort of, you know, open the door for or whatever. But this time, I feel like it's sort of for myself as well, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Same.
Um, and yeah, it's just it's so it's like the most aligned thing that I've ever done. I feel.
Yeah, I do too. You know a little bit about the humanity project work I do with my company, The Outer Loop in Tanzania. And for a long time, that's how I would describe that work, right? When I first started doing that, I would describe it the way you just described this, oh, I feel like I'm living my purpose and I'm aligned with what I should be doing. And I definitely still feel that way. But this feels different to me and feels very healing both for others and for you and I and for myself in a way that doesn't quite, feels more like it's healing for others.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it can totally also be like connect. It's kind of connected as well.
It kind of is, yeah. Well, and then of course we got to get you over there at some point because
Yeah, I would love to do that. Even just that, I'm like, even if
yeah,
I found this guy before this, I would probably have been like, "Hey, can I make a
can
video?"
I
with
go?
you?" Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
was like, I double like this guy.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to get you over there. I think I said to you early on, like I have a strong feeling. There are people that we've met over the 9 or 10 years of working there that we've taken, like friends and artists and donors and different people. And you often, you get a sense that some people will like it, but it's not going to be as impactful or they're not going to get it, but every now and then, we would take someone or meet someone who wanted to come that you feel like, oh, this person is going to not only fit right in, but it's going to just really, they're going to get it. They're going to understand. And yeah, like I'm excited for you to get over there at some point, because I feel like you're one of those people who will immediately just, get it and want to be a part of that community and just,
The way you've described it is sounds like a dream.
yeah, I mean,
Canada is the same as US, so when you talk about that, it's
yeah.
very the same, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's challenging being back. It's always for me, it's always challenging coming back, even more so now, just with how the world feels, with the direction that things seem to be going in this part of the world. It feels difficult.
But you're changing your bars of soap. You're changing your shirts. Did you see the comment I made? I
Yeah.
think I know why. I commented, I said, I think you're feeling more regulated.
Yeah.
Give yourself space to like try new things.
To try new things. No, I agree completely. It's because those things would have never and didn't happen before, right? But understanding and then being able to regulate better, you generally feel a lower.
It's cool.
It's pretty cool. It is nice, because then those things, those new choices lead you to things you wouldn't have experienced before, and they're, let's say maybe sometimes they won't be positive, but in these cases they were.
You like
And
it
like,
better.
yeah,
Yeah, you're like,
coconut lime, man, come on, it's amazing.
I should have done this sooner.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying the fighting in the comments on that one about people who are like, so, no, stick with the bar soap, and people who are shower gel people, because I was the same. Like, I was the bar soap person for so long, and I get all the arguments because I made them, and then now I'm on the shower gel side, and I get that too. So yeah,
I'm weird. I have to have both just in case one day
you
I
never
feel like
know.
having bar and one day I want to have gel.
Same. I've actually left it's funny that you say that, because I'm the same. I switched, but I also left. It's funny because I was in the shower today. I was looking at the bar soap that I left there, going, "Do I still need to leave it there?" Because, and then for the same reason you just said, I say maybe, because maybe one day I'll want that instead of the liquid. So yeah, that's funny.
I have one more interesting question for you, and this is
You
like, I'm just
do.
interested to see what you think about this. The dance of neurotypical and neurodivergent people is the perfect balance in life. And like, do you agree or disagree? And before you do that, I'll just say like, think like stability meets creativity, tradition meets like transformation, collective understanding meets unique insight. It's like almost like you kind of need each other to exist in the world, because without them we wouldn't be able to do a lot of things, but without us we wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. So I think like embracing that more would be really cool.
Embracing the dance between neurotypical and neurodivergent folks, instead of,
this is our role and this is your role,
right?
and we change the world to make it work, because it probably work even better than it is right now.
By embracing it and working together and understanding each other's roles, instead of what seems to mostly happen, which is kind of labeling and keeping a distance between the two.
Fit to their world almost. Whereas like, okay, but why can't, like, if we just made it like, this is our sort of, the creativity and the, but like, we also need things to get done, and we know that sometimes we don't get things done. Right? So then we need stability, but then they need us to come in and break that, like, like
the rules and the structure. Yeah, I obviously 1,000,000% agree with you, but I also have maybe a little bit of a nuanced answer to it, which is, I mean, yes, 1,000,000%. We definitely, it would be so helpful if we all started, instead of looking at it like the society and the world we live in is kind of designed around neurotypicals, and then we're trying to figure out how to fit in there, and that's also how they see it, I would imagine. then I think what you're saying is, what if we kind of just get rid of that language and we say, hey, we're all in this space together. Our role in it is this, your role in it is that. It's not like we're in your space trying to exist or you're in our space trying to exist. We're both in a shared space. Here's what we do, here's what you do. If we work together, and that, everything moves along better, right? That's what you're saying?